All right, we are back. Define insanity. Joe, I'm done with this online dating bullshit. I'm done with it. I can't stand it. I'm done. I want to go back to the old way.
You don't like porn. You don't like online dating. You're like not keeping up with the times.
I'm a caveman, dude. I like the old way with you bring a wingman, and you go to the bar. And you have the wingman, do the hard work for you, where you sit in the corner, like reading the newspaper. Remember newspapers? That's what I used to do. That was my game. I would sit in the corner of the bar, I'd read the newspaper, and I'd have, my wingman build me up. He's
a pilot.
He's really good at everything he does. I'm just so happy I know him. It's great. But the bottom line is there's no better wingman than a gay guy ever. Because gay guys, they will go up to any girl, and they just...
Not every gay guy.
I get nervous around hot girls. Gay guys don't.
Well, yeah, because they're not trying to fuck them.
Hot girls have this power over me when they're like really hot, where I get nervous. I clamp up. I can't be the normal, smooth person that I am, that we all know, I get all clamped up.
It's a new definition of smooth.
But the gay guy they'll just prance up to any hot girl. Hot girls love that. Most hot girls, liberal hot girls, love gay guys.
They're really putting people into boxes here tonight.
Well, they do. They love it. They feel like if they...
The gay guy.
Well, if they,
What about maybe a lesbian?
A lesbian? No, then they'll get clamped up and nervous. Lesbians get all nervous. Oh, I want to be in a relationship. Oh, I'm a lesbian. I have cargo boots.
How do you know that? I guarantee there's plenty of lesbians that just want to bang and fucking not deal with the drama.
I'm trying to think of how a lesbian talks. I can do a gay guy, but how does a lesbian talk?
I know, you got to work on that, especially with that Ellen DeGeneres haircut. Ooh. You could probably get a lot of tail like that, make it pretend you're a lesbian.
You think so? You think because I look like a lesbian? Is that what you're trying to...
No, I'm just saying.
Are you saying because of my haircut that I look like a lesbian?
I'm saying...
Do I wear flannel shirts?
It looks like you walked into the barber shop. Yeah.
Do I drive a Subaru?
It looks like you went to the hair salon and said, give me the DeGeneres.
Give me the DeGeneres, right?
I want the Ellen.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I can't.
Well, I'm looking for a gay guy to be my wingman. So if there's any listeners out there, any gays, come along, call me, 516-445-8230. Call me, text me.
You know what?
I need you to be my wingman.
Find a furry. Bring a furry as a wingman.
Yeah, please.
Maybe that
would
works.
Fucking
Please.
be
That would be
crazy.
awesome.
You never know. This might be an untapped resource.
Just be
the
sitting
furry
there,
community.
go enter a bar, drinking non-alcoholic beverages, and you bring a furry with you.
What a conversation starter. That's beautiful.
You think?
Yeah, that's a hook. That's what they call
I don't know.
in the music industry a hook.
Sounds a little rapey to me.
No.
A little rape. If I'm a girl and some fucking furry approaches me and tells me that guy at the bar
girls
drinking
nowadays
non-alcoholic beer.
I think a guy sitting by himself reading a newspaper is a little more
They don't have
rapey.
newspapers anymore. They don't do it anymore.
Yes, they do. They have
do they?
My father gets them every day.
Yeah. Your father's like 100.
No, he's 80.
Come on. I mean...
But that means you can still get them, though.
I guess, but when you go to a bar, they don't have them. When I used to drink at bars, there was a
you don't
newspaper.
Go to bars anymore,
I know, but when I used to, though, there was the Post, there was the Daily News, there was the New York. They were all there, and that was my game. I would sit there alone, and I would just drink. And I wouldn't drink. They wouldn't know how much I was drinking, because I would go to the bathroom and chug vodka, and then come back and sip my beer like a gentleman,
Yeah.
But that was my game, and the girls would come to me.
Oh,
like a magnet. My wingman would build me up from across the room. I had a whole strategy, but none of them were ever as good as having a gay guy because of like I mentioned.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Or a dog. A dog might work.
I don't have any gay guys in my life, but I'll tell you what I do have: ants. I got a lot of fucking ants lately in my apartment. I don't know what to do about them. And you know what? What's hard for me is this. It's like I saw Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when I was younger. So I fell in love with that ant. That to me, ants are like the fucking dogs of the insect world. You know what I mean? I like them.
Your father's sister or your mother's sister?
What? No. Ants, like crawly fucking things.
Insects.
Ants. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got these ants all over the place. I'm setting ant traps, and then I feel bad. I'm trying to get them out amicably. I'm like, hey.
I don't know if you're saying that word
This is not the place.
Right.
Maybe I heard it somewhere. I forgot, but I'm like, this is not the place for you. I leave peacefully, please. And then it's like a mass genocide. I got to fucking wreck them all. And I'm trying to leave a message. I don't clean them up sometimes. I just leave them dead in the corner.
Yeah.
Send a message to their friends. You don't come in here and fuck around.
Well,
when
there's
a man
science
asks you to leave, you
that-
leave.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not true. These little
Pheromones, the
motherfuckers-
pheromones of their death, of their dying
Yeah.
bodies gets released, and it scares away.
Absolutely.
I knew
I'm
that,
jerking off all on my floor to leave like some kind of scent around, like, claim my territory. Maybe that'll work. That's not working either.
I think you're supposed to piss, not jerk off.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Fuck, I got that
You
wrong.
mark your territory with urine, not
I
with
thought
semen.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 100%
It
sure.
doesn't make
on
sense.
that.
Why piss? To me, marking my territory is fucking,
There's dogs in my
ejaculating
neighborhood. Don't
everywhere.
go running around fucking ejaculating on fire hydrants. They pee
I
on
would.
them.
I would. You're missing the point.
Yeah.
The point is these fucking ants aren't learning their lesson. And I wish there was some kind of machine like Ant-Man to shrink me down just so I could grab one of these little motherfuckers and like fuck them in the ass.
You
or
know how
something. Really
bad
send a
an ant
message.
would fuck you up if you were an ant size? They would fuck you up. We are so lucky.
pretty strong for my weight,
You know
Justin.
how lucky we are ants are that small? They are fucking monsters. You're
Yeah.
dealing with fucking beasts.
I'll give them the old fucking eye poke with the 2 fingers.
You will not do anything to an ant. An ant will fucking rip you in half and fucking eat your liver. They're fucking intelligent too. They got fucking little caves down below the ground and shit.
I don't know. I agree to disagree.
No,
we got a guest, don't we?
We do have a
Fucking
guest.
shouting up here. We got a guest.
Want to invite him in? Want to invite him down?
Yeah, let him out of his cage.
His name is,
God damn it.
His name is Matty Ice.
Here he
Matty,
comes.
Matty, come on down. Oh, that's a lot of. There we go. Hey, there he is, Matt. Did
the
you
man,
tumble,
the myth, the legend,
like
75 legs. Here he comes.
tumble down the stairs like an
I
ant?
feel like there was way too many steps.
That was a lot of steps. That was a lot of steps.
Justin keeps on fucking it up.
More than
Yeah.
the 12-step program.
Well, we don't all need to do the footsteps. One of us can just go like this. It'll sound more real.
Well, next time we got to who's in charge of that? Do we rotate every week or is just one man responsible for that?
Well, we'll figure that out. We'll let KC decide. KC's the producer.
I'll fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
Thank you.
All right, so Matty, man, what's up, bro? How you doing?
What's going on? I'm all right. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. It's just just figuring out how to get back into the dating game without using these fucking apps. You use those fucking apps?
I did for a little while.
Fucking
but,
weird, right?
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
When you get there and the picture doesn't match up, you're like, oh, this girl's really hot. Oh, she's into like cool things, just like me. And you get there and she's like got like a fucking face tattoo and she's like 80 pounds more than the picture and
Dude, even worse. Now
smells.
they put a filter where they can select height.
what?
They can select height. So they could filter out anybody that's under whatever height that they want.
Yeah, that's
so I'm
so
fucked.
fucked up.
So
What is
basically,
that?
I'm
That's
fucked.
something. Is that
That's
racist?
fucked
What is
up.
that? Is that something bad?
That's
I know
sizist.
that.
I guess.
Sizist?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow, that
is fucked up.
yeah.
Why does a 5-foot girl need to date someone that's over 6 feet?
I don't know.
She's insecure. She has to balance out the median height.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like nowadays, chicks are so into height. Like in the 80s and 90s, it didn't matter. Like Michael J. Fox was like 5'3". Like he was considered like, oh, he's so cute. He's so cute.
He was a movie star, and they saw him on screen, and you make him look like 5'9", 5'10", and then they're like, all right.
But there's a thing now, right? The short king.
Short Kings.
Like that's
yeah.
a thing.
That
Like,
sounds
yeah,
hot.
yeah.
What's that
I think
about?
that because I'm not a tall man either, but I think that I don't know. I think our day has come. Like we're starting to get a little.
I'm average
title.
height. Joe's above average. Matt, how tall are you?
Oh God, do you really want to say
Yeah.
5'4"?
5'4". So you're
Yeah.
like Michael J. Fox's height.
Right, right.
Yeah, but is it Tom Cruise? Aren't all those guys like smaller? I don't
Seth
get it.
Green is 5'4".
Well, what's the average anyway?
Average height's 5'9", I think.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it depends on what country. Like if you go to Peru, 5'4" is average height. I went to Peru once. Oh my God, I felt like
country of short kings.
I
Yeah.
felt like Shaquille O'Neal.
I wanna
really
go to a
did. Like
country like
everyone,
that.
I was like towering over everyone. It was yeah.
giant.
Yeah,
A little Jewish giant
It was
fucking stomping around the place.
Oh, it was so cool. And I didn't speak any of the language, so I was like running around like talk. I was
He used to
talking.
tell
They
me
were
that
talking.
all the time. Machu Picchu.
I went to Machu Picchu. I only learned the curse words because my girlfriend Sophia at the time she taught me her people would yell
Why,
at me.
she was a Latina,
The
baby?
family would yell at me. She's
She was
Peruvian.
Boricua, baby?
The family would yell at me, so I learned all the curse words. I know cállate la boca, punta manecona, bendeja cerote. It means like
I
shut the
know
fuck up. You like
Chipping me penga. That's all I
Chipimipenga.
know. And that got
That's
me.
not real. That's not real, is it?
Something like that. It means like suck my dick or something. I always fuck it up, but it doesn't matter. Every time I walk into any restaurant I worked, every time I say something like that to the guys or like grab anything that looks dick shaped and put it next to my dick, like Adam Sandler would, immediate, like, ultimate reaction, laughing. And
you say
I
it with
like
an
this
accent,
big
you go,
nose prick.
"Chipalipinga."
Yeah.
Ooh, chipalipinga.
Chipalipinga.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I don't
start doing
say it
that.
right.
I'm going to start doing that at Taco Bell. I'm going to start walking in and they go, "Ooh, chipalipinga."
Give me the chippity bang.
I don't even think Spanish people
stab
work
you.
at
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's authentic Mexican food, Matt.
That's so true. Anyway, wait, we're getting off tangent. So the dating scene, right?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that these tall broads, or these short broads too?
No, I just learned this. Matt told me this. Apparently, there's like an option. How's this go, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, like, you can have your preferences now. And the preference could be, I'm only going to date people that are 6 feet and above.
Oh,
Yeah, but I
wow.
bet so you're allowed to do that, but I guarantee you can't like put
But there's
like,
not a weight filter.
right. You can't say I only want white girls or I only want black girls, right? You can't do that, right? Only height. So it's like height now is like the new. You're allowed to be like a bigot against like people's height. Like that's acceptable.
But what's next? Like
And that's the worst part. You can't change that.
No,
Right.
But what's next? Like, I only want a dick that's 8 inches and above. Like, what the fuck are you doing? All right, I only
Yeah.
want the smallest vagina. I mean, some people like small vaginas. I like a big vagina.
That- I
I
mean,
want to go in there and look
I gotta
around
be
like
honest,
a SWAT
that-
team or something, right?
No,
like,
I don't
what's
like
behind
big
that door?
vaginas. Oh,
Like,
no.
See if you could
you
discover
know what I
something.
mean? Yeah.
No.
Like a fucking treasure hunt.
No,
you know what I mean? I don't
no,
like. I'm claustrophobic. I don't like it too tight.
What do you want to just
Fucks
go
me
in
up.
there and jerk off?
No, I want to look around. I want to.
A
Hey,
cavernous hole.
how you doing? You know?
Sorry, Mom.
I want it to be like Indiana Jones where there's like booby traps.
Yeah, now we're talking. Action.
Remember the little Asian dude with the booby traps from
loved
Indiana
him.
Jones? I
He was
love that
my
little
favorite.
fucker.
He was my
Apparently, he's an actor and he won an Academy Award like last year.
Is he?
Yeah,
That
he
was
did-
Goonies.
Yeah,
no, yeah, he
Goonies.
was
It
in Goonies. But wasn't
But
he in Indy? He was
yeah,
Indiana
but he
Jones
wasn't
too.
doing the- yeah, but he wasn't doing the
Same
booby
kid.
traps.
Wait,
Like-
was it the same kid, or am I
wa-
just saying all Asians look alike?
No, you said that, but no. Basically,
Well,
he was in both those movies.
was, right?
But Casey's right. The movie you referred to, as far as him setting booby traps, was Goonies.
Booby
traps.
Booby trap.
So you got
$50 bill.
you got
I remember that line. $50 bill. $50 bill. $50 bill.
you got that right, but you just didn't get the context of where it was from right.
I think he was in the Everything Everywhere All at Once or something.
Yeah, that's what it
that the
was.
Yeah.
And he won the Academy Award for Best Actor
Good
or
for
Best
him.
Supporting Actor.
I'd like to see.
yeah.
Does he look the same?
He does.
Kinda, yeah.
He does. I didn't even know that he aged. I thought it was the kid. Yeah, I was like, what's
What
going
kind of
on
fucking
here?
weird time warp is this?
I was like, this movie is
I thought he
very
was dead.
realistic.
What
Yeah.
happened? Yeah, that's fucked up. All right, so Matt, listen, thanks for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Wait, I'm sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Has anybody heard from Sal?
Oh, no, he's still missing.
Yeah, I mean,
Sal's missing, and he's been missing for a while now.
I put some like feelers out there, and I haven't
I got
heard
the
anything.
text L74 from him again. I don't know what it means.
Have you looked that up?
Yeah, it has a lot of meanings. None of it has anything that's applicable.
I still,
You know?
I still think it's the Russians.
You think the Russians kidnapped him?
Yeah.
What if it was the Ukrainians? Why are you picking sides? Maybe it was the Ukrainians.
Just seems like a Russian job to me.
It does seem like a Russian job.
Maybe
Those
I'm like,
fucking sneaky bastards.
What do you call that? Labeling?
Yeah,
with Democrat-
yeah, sneaky bastards.
Nah, I just don't know how Sal would get mixed up with the Russians. That's what scares me.
You think?
We're gonna have like a candlelight vigil or something, just to like kind of
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna continue
Raise
to put
awareness.
the word out. Yeah, I'm gonna.
put out some flyers.
Well,
Yeah,
give-
maybe some pictures and stuff like
We
that.
could give. Yeah, you want to give a description of what he looks like?
Yeah, I went to a couple like corner hooker spots, and I was like, "Really big white dick? You haven't seen him?"
Yeah.
But that didn't. I mean, nobody.
We're looking
Nobody
for.
remembers
He's about. What's he like? He's like 5'10", right?
Yeah.
He's got brown hair.
Yep.
He's got what?
Soft eyes, I would say.
Soft eyes,
Innocent
gentle
boy.
eyes.
Innocent
He's
boy.
too innocent.
Yeah.
If the Russians
Like
got
a
him,
doe.
yeah, they are taking advantage of him if they have him.
I'd be.
Fucking Sal, man, that's
Sounds
brave.
like
of
he
him.
would do great on the dating apps.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Let's set him up.
It's-
Or if we can't find him, you could just steal his identity.
There you
And
go.
then there you go.
So-
So Matt, I'm glad you're here, but I want you to introduce yourself to me. Justin told me a little bit about you, but also our guest too. Just give us a little background, where you're from, family, stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up on Long Island my whole life. My parents were from Connecticut. They got a good job, came out here, had me, raised me. I went to private school for most of my life, finished out in public school for high school, went to
you a
college.
rich boy.
Not really, no.
Connecticut,
Actually,
private school.
I know it sounds like that, but no, I definitely wasn't. You know, honestly, my parents kind of struggled just to put me through that, but I was an only child, so I they were able to kind of, get me through that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, my parents got divorced. My dad went back to Connecticut. Now my mom moved back to Connecticut. So they kind of just stranded me here. And now I'm on the island. I don't
Wait,
know
so how long
what to
have you
do.
been here, though?
Well, on the earth?
No. Hey, that's a good question. I'm going to start asking people that. No, just how long?
Just
have you
ask
been,
him his birthday.
How long have you been in Long Island for?
My whole life.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
when they came here, that's okay.
Did you say in Long Island?
In Long
No
Island.
one says in
On-
Long Island.
on-
Pretty sure it's on.
You're on Long Island.
On Long Island.
And it's
I
one
think you
word.
want to say in Long Island if you aren't from Long Island.
Yeah, if you're a
See, I'd rather
douchebag.
be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course. Yeah. In Long
I'd rather
Island.
be inside it.
And it's
than
Long
on it.
Island. It's
He's still
not
thinking
Long
about
I'm
big
not
Island.
dry
vaginas.
humping. Yeah, I'm not dry humping the island. I'm in it. This is me in the island.
I'm on Long Island.
I'm in it. I'm not on it.
I met, you know where I met Matt? I met Matt. I worked at a golf simulator
Oh,
place.
that's right.
Called Sim
All
Play.
right. So
Yeah, it's pretty
okay.
cool. And
So when we were in the sober house, Justin and I,
Yes.
got a job at this place, Simplay.
Sim Play.
And tell him what it was like, and tell him how you met Matt.
It was a golf simulator place, and Matt worked there, and I got a job, and Matt was already like established there. The manager was a professional wrestler, and what is it? We had golf and baseball and all these
Football, you could do any sport. It was like a
It was
multi-sport.
Get
really
out of
fun.
here, really?
Yeah.
And
Is
I
that
was-
place still around?
It is, but it's not Simplay anymore.
What's it called?
I think it's called The Experience.
Yes,
That's terrible.
so
I know.
gay.
It was
so gay.
At least Simplay, you got what the fucking
Absolutely.
concept was.
Sim Play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that place, when I got there, I was living in the sober house with Joe, and I was abstinent from drugs and alcohol. I wasn't sober. I didn't know there was a difference. I was abstinent, so I was like really miserable, and I was white knuckling it, and no God, no program, nothing, just toughing it out, right? And I eventually broke. And now I wanted to ask Matt, when did you know, like that? I was secret drinking
Matt's
for
fucking
so
shitting
long
and grin,
there.
looking at Justin like, yeah, motherfucker, I knew. You
The
idiot.
beer inventory there must have been like so off.
What was that
Besides the beer inventory, I'll never forget this. This was the funniest thing that ever happened. So Justin was not a bartender at all. Okay? But we worked a party together, and it was Salvadorian Sweet 16 or Quinceañera or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they put Justin behind the bar. You already know that's a fucking bad idea. So, I mean, pretty much they just serve beers and, mixed
Cerveza. They call them
mixed cocktails.
cervezas, yeah.
Yeah. So this guy comes up to the bar and he goes, "You guys have Corona Extra?" And Justin goes, "We only have Corona Light." And the guy's like, "Well, I really want a Corona Extra." And Justin's like, "No, you need a Corona Light." and right then I knew he was back on the wagon. And I was like, "Oh no." And this guy was pissed.
Oh my
He was
God.
so pissed. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Justin. Like, of all the places to not do that was that quinceañera.
Yeah,
It was really
that's
bad.
Fucking
I don't.
awesome.
You know what I was doing? I was going into the walk-in free refrigerator, and I was chugging. Like my
what I
beer
used to do.
chugging skills got so good because, like, I had to secretly drink because everyone thought I was sober, right? So, and plus I was stealing, so I had to secretly drink. So, but I would chug like 4 beers in under a minute in the walk-in, and then shove the empty bottles in my pocket, right?
I thought he was going to say somewhere else.
No.
Me too.
I was like, wow, that is a
then
large cavity.
I wouldn't have been
And
surprised.
then, but the bathroom, I don't know if you noticed this, if you ever took the trash out back then, but the trash in the bathroom at any given point had 20 to 30 empty beer bottles in it at any given time.
Yeah.
I had to keep track of, like, make sure that I took the trash out. I didn't always do it. So obviously someone else realized, like, someone's like, why is there 30 empty beer bottles in the bathroom of Simplay? Like, it's just weird. Like, how many people are finishing their beer in the bathroom? Clearly not that many people. Like,
but
something was up.
That's what happened. It's hysterical because we all did the same. I did the same shit, and I worked at I was actually a pretty good bartender working at like a high class establishment. But not only would I drink, I'd be shooting dope in the bathroom and like be gone for 20 minutes. In the middle of happy hour,
Heroin.
Yeah, and then I was hungry and I had to eat, so I'd go in the what you're talking about, like the box or whatever,
Yeah,
the fridge,
yeah.
and I'd be shoving chocolate cake in my mouth.
Yeah, I used to do that
Coming
too,
back all
yeah.
doped up
Yeah.
with chocolate all over my
Yeah,
face, fucking
yeah.
making drinks.
Whippets.
We're thinking nobody
Yeah.
knew. Oh my God, that's crazy. So,
Yeah.
Matt, when you originally met him, he was sober because he was in the sober.
I was
house.
abstinent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you're abstinent. So, What was that like? That was the first time you were like, oh shit, yeah, this guy's out of his mind.
Yeah, I mean, I could relate to him just simply because like my dad's an alcoholic, and and so I kind of like was a very supportive friend of his, and like could kind of tell that he needed someone to be there for him, and Justin sober is a great time.
Oh yeah. Still out of his mind.
Yeah, exactly. You could still see the wild in him.
Oh yeah. That's the best part. We always thought we'd lose it, and then find out that it's like no, it's more prevalent than ever. You just get fucking even crazier.
Yeah. So Maddie actually, like what, 8 years ago I met you?
Yeah, something along those lines.
8
or 9 years.
Yeah,
8 or 9
something coming
years
up
ago.
at 9 years. Yeah, it's got to be.
He gave me his dad's 10-year coin.
It's actually my uncle's. It
Your
was actually my
uncle's?
uncle's 10-year coin.
Uncle's 10-year coin.
I don't think my dad's ever made it 10 years, but my uncle, yeah, he's been sober now for over 20-something years,
But
I think.
you gave me his
And I
10-year
gave you
coin.
his 10-year coin,
and
yeah.
I said I would give it back to you one day.
When you reach 10 years is what you
right,
said.
Right. I still
Sick.
have it right here.
Oh,
That's
wow.
sick.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's
You guys hear that?
Love that.
Yeah, that's it. Still here. Yeah. It actually stays in my car. And it's been I've totaled 2 cars along the way. And this still made it out of the
Yeah.
crashes. It still
That's
somehow
wild.
made it out.
That's
yeah.
wild. It's
impressive.
I still have it. Yeah. So I'm at 6 years. So I got to give it back to him in 4 years.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, tell me a little bit about your background growing up. Like, what were you like as a kid? What were some like influential moments you had? Stuff like that. Some
Yeah, sure.
hardships, whatever. What like life was like?
Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, life was pretty good until my teenage years. My family was kind of the typical white picket fence life. My dad had a really good job.
Yeah,
He was able
Connecticut.
to.
Yeah.
No, I was on Long Island. Like that, he got the job and then moved to Long Island to have me. He raised me on Long Island. He was my soccer coach. Like he was really involved in my formative years. But then, towards my teenage years, his drinking got really bad. He was doing things that he shouldn't have been doing, sleeping with prostitutes, and then
While he was still married.
while he was still married, and
There's
then,
nothing wrong with sleeping with prostitutes if you're single.
Right,
That's when
right,
I let
when
the
you're
audience
married.
know that. Okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of actually how my mom found out that he was cheating on her and all that stuff. And this was something that I had to learn through my own experience with like alcoholics. But I thought that he had hit rock bottom when they got divorced. I was like, oh, this has got to be it. He lost his house. He lost his wife. He lost his relationship with his kid. All these
Yeah.
things. And no, he was nowhere close to rock bottom. He had a lot more to
crazy,
go.
right? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he struggled throughout, and I watched him struggle, and I had kind of tried to be there for him, and I was going through my own stuff. I was not taking the divorce well. I was, I had a close friend of mine pass away from a heart attack, and he was only 21 years old.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I think he just had like a heart defect, and they didn't catch it when they.
Like Len Bias.
Yeah, something like that. It was just like
Crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, but I was getting bullied in school, and it was just I had a really rough teenage, couple years.
What year was this? Like 15 to 17?
Yeah, this was like 14,
Yeah.
freshman year. So I mean, a lot of new changes anyway.
Did you rebel?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was smoking pot in the woods, chugging beers in the woods.
Did a lot of stuff in the woods.
Yeah, it was in the
of
woods.
course.
Always in the woods.
That was fun hanging out in the
yeah.
woods.
Yeah, I
I
used to
don't know
jerk
why.
off in the woods.
I don't know why
Yeah.
kids like the woods so much, but I mean,
Well, because it's just like your first escape where you feel like no one can find us. Like
Yeah.
this is our place. Everyone else is just out of the picture right now. And
In the
and
woods.
we're the only ones here. Like it's almost like a new discovery, like fucking new land found. And like it's the same thing as it's freedom. Like it's the same thing when you get your bike and then
Yeah.
your first car. It's just like each time you just like it spread your wings more and more. So
Yeah.
makes sense. Plus, it's got to be some kind of human instinct with the woods because I still like being in the woods. Like there's some connection.
There's like
there.
I
some nature.
love the woods.
Yeah.
are you guys a
some kind of
beach guy or a woods
that
guy?
too.
I'm both,
into
but
nature.
the woods, I love going to the,
The woods
woods. I love
call
the
me more.
sound.
Yeah.
There's like a sound when you're walking in the
And the
woods.
smells.
I used to get fucked
Something
up on
smells,
mushrooms in the woods
Yeah.
in Jersey with my friend. And mushrooms and whippets. It was so weird.
Yeah.
And all you would hear is wah, 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 wah. Like it was so fucking freaky, but I don't know
Yeah.
why. I just love doing it.
Yeah, I still like being in the woods, like sober. Like I just something about the woods.
Of course,
I
yeah,
just
it's
enjoy
beautiful.
it. I don't like sleeping there though. Too many bugs. But I like staying there until the end, like late at night with a bonfire, and then going into like a bed,
Waiting for like a truck
hotel.
driver to stop and like
That's a rest
help
stop.
you out.
That's,
Oh,
there's the thing. I think Exit 53 on the LA is like a rest stop where
you
like
think
people
you
like
said that pretty quick.
people get It's
You started rebelling, fucking getting fucked up in the woods, and right now at 14, 15, these are happening simultaneously, meaning like your parents are getting divorced, you're dealing with the alcoholic father, people are fucking bullying you. And what was that like? Like, did you like?
Wait, people are bullying you? He said that.
Yeah,
where the
people
fuck?
were bullying.
There's
I missed
not
that
even
part.
a game on. Like,
Who's
what are you
bullying?
doing?
Who bullied you? What's his name? What's his name? I'll fuck him up.
Well, you know what it was? I mean, when I went to private school from kindergarten to 8th grade, it was like my graduating class was like 60 people.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up with the same 30 or 40 kids in my class every year. So when I went to high school, it was like, I'm going to, I went to St. John the Baptist, which was a private school again, but now it's like, you got 500 kids there. They're all usually from the more affluent general area, and I wasn't. So it was kind of like,
little cunts.
I just felt like a little outsider.
Rich boys.
Rich boys. So then, that's when they're graduating to like the expensive drugs, the party drugs.
What, like cocaine?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like that was kind of rampant through the high school, and like I just didn't fit in with any of those kids. So, I was just the easy pickings. And then, so I got bullied while I was going on through all of that. I like begged my dad to put me in public school. He was so against it for the longest time, but we ended up scheduling a meeting with the guidance counselor for the public school. And we walk in, and this was a year that in my public high school, 3 girls all wanted to get impregnated by the same dude. And they did it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It was fucking
in high
crazy.
school.
Yeah.
There's a dude in your high school.
I swear, that guy's. But I will say this: like
3 girls.
Yeah, these girls were like, we want to be sisters for life, so we're all gonna get knocked up by the same dude. So
I don't think that's
Get a
how.
fucking pair of tattoos, ladies.
Yeah, right. Come on.
I don't think that's how it works.
You'll get an 18-year responsibility, you maniacs.
But yeah,
What
so
the
that was my first experience with public school. Was walking into the guidance counselor's office and seeing in the waiting room 3 pregnant girls that all got knocked up by
What
the
was
same
this
dude.
kid's name?
And I was
Yeah,
like,
this is a
I
Maury
have no
Povich
idea.
episode.
I have no idea what this dude's name was. But
Where is he now? I
What's
gotta
that
find
Adam
out where
Sandler
this kid
movie?
is.
Where are the girls now?
Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah.
Oh, man.
They fucking
Gotta get him on the podcast.
Yeah, they made a
Yeah.
whole fucking Netflix thing about that octopusy
Let's
lady who
get this
popped out
whole
8 kids.
family-
What the fuck? Wait.
That's my boy. Is the
That's
is
My
the
Boy.
movie,
Yeah.
the Adam Sandler movie. Yeah.
But anyway, my dad essentially thought that was a good place to put me in and put me in public school. So
I'm gonna think about that for
That's
the rest
crazy,
of my life.
dude.
yeah, it's fucking insane.
That's crazy. So, all right. To me, what's important is as we go through these things, like there's feelings that come up that we push down because we're fucking, I don't know about you. When I grew up, and it's not even like I was taught that, I'm not going to blame my parents or anything like that. It's just how I took in information and like applied it, So I thought like the only emotion I could show was anger. That's the first thing I went to. Right?
Primal. It's a primal
Of
emotion.
course, but underneath there was so many other things I just couldn't get to and I didn't have the tools to. Or maybe I did, but I wasn't going to tell you or just even admit it to myself, but it was through my head.
Right.
So like during that time especially, did you have a lot of anger? Like, did you understand what kind of emotions you were going through? Like while all this was going on, like, was it like, what the fuck? Why is this happening to me right now? What the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had an array of emotions. I felt like my emotions were always more intense than everybody else's. So like my anger was rage, my sadness was grief, even like my happiness was like euphoria. It was always like ramped up to 10.
Sounds like bipolar a little bit.
no, it just
it was
sounds
actually
normal to
borderline.
me.
So
Yeah.
I actually found out I had borderline. What ended up happening was into my later teenage years and my early 20s, I became suicidal, was having suicidal tendencies, ideologies of thinking about ending it all, and I had a really scary experience where I tried to take my own life. I got through that, and it took me a couple years to really sit down and like be like, okay, I'm ready to get the help that I needed.
How did you try to kill yourself?
I was driving in a car and I tried to drive onto oncoming traffic.
Oh yeah, that's a tough way to go because you could end up just like really like
Right,
deformed.
and then I had to.
You weren't planning that, right?
I wasn't
That
really
was a
planning. It was
split
it was
second.
an
You were just in your
impulsive
brain.
Oh, it was
moment.
impulsive. You didn't plan.
Yeah, that
I mean,
seems like something like that.
I had
like-
kind of, I had kind of like determined that I was like ready to go, but I mean, it wasn't like I'd get in my car and go.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
a
do this.
that's a bad way to do it.
Yeah, but while you're in your car driving, you're just fucking beating the shit out of
ruminating.
yourself,
Yeah,
right? Just,
yeah.
oh, you're a piece of shit. You're this, you're that. And it's just that.
Yeah,
that
I internalized everything.
Of course.
You
That
know,
thought took over.
So like, you know, a lot of people with their emotions and with their struggles, they outwardly project it onto everybody else. Everybody else is the problem. Everybody else is to blame. And for me, it was always internal. You know, I never felt like enough.
How old are you at this time?
Like 21, 22.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, that happened and I felt a lot of guilt and shame about it because, you know, now it was like, not only did I put myself in that position, but driving onto oncoming traffic, I was putting other people at risk too.
Wait a second, 21. When did I meet you?
You met me, oh God, probably
Around that time?
Yeah.
You were suicidal?
Nobody knew.
Of course
Nobody
I didn't know.
Well,
Yeah,
of
nobody
course.
knew.
That's, I mean,
Holy shit.
that, like,
I was like, oh, Matt's the fucking happiest little dude in the world. I love this guy.
Yeah, that's
I
the
want to be around this
that's
guy
the
more. He's
projection.
so happy and awesome and fun.
Yeah, that's
Meanwhile,
the
you're out there
projection.
fucking driving your car into a fucking bridge compartment.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the projection of what you want others to see. That's
Mm-hmm.
why, like, he wasn't projecting his anger on people. He was projecting, like, this is who I want you to see. So you think I'm okay?
Yeah.
Because, letting people see the real you is a fucking vulnerable position a lot of people aren't willing to be in. Usually
Right.
you have to be forced in that position. So
You're a
like,
good actor, though.
No, fucking,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
you have to
You're a
be.
really
have
good
to be.
actor.
But you start that at a young age. It's not acting. It's just like part of your life, right? Wearing different masks and figuring out who do you want me to be, so you can
That's
like
acting.
not fuck with me, not like. Yeah, but that's a human instinct of like tribalism, of just how do I fucking not get killed?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So
and then I think, you know, what kind of pulled me out of that was fitness. So my mom, she actually does CrossFit. And for the longest time, she was trying to get me to do CrossFit with her. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I would go see her in class and stuff. I'm like, they're throwing barbells around. I'm like, oh, this seems dangerous. This seems, you know.
What exactly is CrossFit?
CrossFit's a blend of different styles of fitness. So they take aspects of calisthenics, Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, and then they put it all into like a high intensity interval training type aspect where it might be, you know, low weights, but you're doing high repetitions with like cardio type workouts.
That sounds
and it's
rough.
all all just a very variable. It's all about variability. So
Sounds like a lot of
it's
work.
you're
about,
trying to-
it's about being the ultimate athlete. Like
Right.
you're ready for anything.
It's
and
all
you could handle
functional
anything.
fitness.
You want me to fucking do heavyweight one time? Fine. You want me 20? Like they have to be prepared for anything and everything.
Yeah, it's all about functional.
We have different
fitness,
definitions
so.
of the ultimate athlete.
But,
to me, the ultimate athlete can drain like 7 3-pointers from the corner, throw a 60-yard bomb to the sideline, 87-mile-an-hour curveball, 12-6.
Yep, take a 12
I'm not trying to be the
incher
best
right
at
down the
exercising
throat.
over here,
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
But yeah, so
but I'll go ahead and finish.
yeah, no. So my mom it was her birthday coming up, and she knew she was gonna get me. She's like, listen, for my birthday, all I want is you to just do one class with me. And I was like,
That's awesome.
All right, I'll do it. And I did one class with her, and it changed my life. I found a community. I realized like all these people that were going to class with her were going at the same time, so they all knew her. She had told them about me, so they already knew who I was, my name, and all that stuff. And it was like the first time I really felt like I fit in.
You were home.
I was home. Like
Yeah.
I found my home. I found like I fit in.
And you're in great fucking shape, dude.
Thank you, brother.
I haven't seen you in a
Appreciate
while.
that.
You're jacked.
Yeah, I still try to keep up with it. It's a little bit difficult now with my
I don't know.
with working full time. I'm not living at home. I'm living in my own apartment now.
Sounds like a bunch of exceptions to me. Get your fucking ass in
you're
the
right.
gym.
It is
No,
excuses.
so I want to go back a little bit because one thing you said that was very, very like just astute observation and just like the way you communicated that with the euphoria feeling, that everything being heightened, all the emotions and all the feelings. And I think that's important to go back to because borderline bipolar, whatever you want to call it. I remember being in rehab and the neurologist came in and was speaking to us about basically what happens chemically to the brain, just to make us understand that it's not going to get back that quick. You got to take your time, right? And what happens with the different drugs and the dopamine levels and what it's released and stuff like that. And one of the questions I asked him was, do alcoholics and addicts have a propensity to just release more endorphins and dopamine? So, for example, like take me, for example, and just a normie, and you put those two people on a slide when they're younger. Did it start then that like my endorphins and dopamine are just fucking released like a faucet instead of a drip for something? And more, I want
did
more.
for me,
you know what I mean? Like, so They could call it bipolar, whatever you want, but I don't know what happens. He said they don't have enough research for that, but when you were talking about that, I totally ID'd.
That's what he was describing.
Because I had those same things. Like everything was super highs, super lows. Like it's fucking a roller coaster, dude. Even before using, way before using. So it's like, I think what you said there was amazing. And I just want to go back a little bit because you said your mom got into CrossFit and that like helped save you, right? But take us back to that night, like the car accident. What happened after that? Leading you, was it 3 days later your mom took you into CrossFit? Like, did your dad show up? Like, what happened after that moment where you decided in a split decision? And I hope people are paying attention to this because some people plan it out. It's so sad. I wish they had like a simulator so people could, because most people don't want to die. They think they do. Right. And I wish there was like a simulator where you could actually like feel like jumping off a bridge and what that would be like. But fuck no, I want to live. Yeah. Because I guarantee if they interviewed a lot of people, if they survived, and they'd be like, as soon as I jumped, I didn't want to do it. You know? Like,
yeah, no, I mean,
what was that like?
I mean, that's exactly the experience that I had. But it wasn't like it was an immediate thing. Like after I tried that I knew like, oh, I want to still live. But it wasn't until probably 5 years later that I actually truly got the help I needed. You know,
what happened after, like you like the feeling after you tried to kill yourself?
Shame and guilt. That's all I felt.
And
shame and guilt.
Did you go to work the next day? Did I see you the next day?
Yep. Just went on about my business. I went completely normal life.
And you didn't mention anything to me. And
I didn't mention anything to anyone.
Right.
I didn't mention anything to anyone until I was 26 years old and started therapy.
5 years later.
Sorry.
Wow.
I started therapy at like 24, 25. But it was like 3 years later that I even really stepped foot into the program that helped get me back to baseline, teach me the skills.
How old are you now?
I'm 28. I'll be 29 in a couple of days.
Wait, that's fucking crazy. And God bless you. Thank God you're here. But that's crazy. 3 years later, because after that,
and a lot of suffering.
And that's the other thing I want to talk about. Because what Matt said was it wasn't a planned thing. He was just beating himself up over and over and over again. And your thoughts are very important. And that just took over and created that negative impulse. Right. That's why we talk about calling people, fucking taking a breath, pausing, like. You gotta be a master of controlling your state with whatever tools you could. But the fact that after that happened, did you kind of like you felt that guilt and shame and just push it down right away so you could keep going on? Was it like a conversation with your parents or anything, or you're just like, all right, that happened, but it's not going to happen again. I'm back on the road.
It's a little hard to remember because I mean, parts of it are blurry and like blacked out from my mind. But I think that I tried to take it and, like I said, everything was internal. So it was an internal thing. And it was like, I would beat myself up even about the situation. Like, why the hell would you do it that way if you're going to do it? Like,
right, that's a horrible way
that's a horrible way to do it. Like, there's no guarantee.
No.
And like,
you're probably going to get like amputated limbs.
Like, it was like, so like even
brain
that,
damage.
like,
the worst way to do it. You want to do it. You get a fucking 6-shooter and you put a bullet to your head. Boom, done.
At least it's direct,
Yeah.
So, I mean, you beat yourself up over those things and then you're ashamed. You feel this like intense shame where, you don't feel like you could tell your friends or your family that they wouldn't understand or, that they would check you into a 72 psych hour hold.
Psych ward.
And
nobody wants that.
They've actually shown that like most suicidal people, when checked into a 72-hour hold, are not any better off.
Probably worse off.
Probably worse off.
Absolutely. Because now you're put in that position like, no, this is who I am. Like, no.
Yeah. I will say that the CrossFit aspect helped kind of get my like self.
But this is 3 years.
Back?
3 years of suffering before this.
Yeah, because I want to know about the program you got into because it's different than the program we've talked about on the show before. But you didn't tell your family about it?
No, I didn't tell
So
anybody
basically,
about this.
you got into an accident. People knew, but you didn't tell them
I didn't
how
get into
you
an accident. I swerved at the last second.
Oh.
I didn't.
You
I
avoided it.
Yeah, I avoided it. I didn't go through with it.
Okay.
Like I tried.
So you pulled on,
but
you
I
played
couldn't
chicken,
do
and
it.
then at the last second you pulled out.
Couldn't do it.
Okay. And that didn't scare the shit out of you, the fact that you were so close, that original
course it
feeling?
did.
Yeah, right?
Of course it
Yeah.
did.
Did you get like a rejuvenated, like, I want to live type of feeling? Oh, wow, man, I don't want to die.
Yes and no. I mean, I think
Like
that
a near-death type of...
I don't think it was close enough to a near-death experience to really like,
Right.
have that immediate trigger of like, I want to live. I think
Right.
I still was super depressed and still was like contemplating it, but I think I was more
Shocked.
ashamed and shocked that like
that you could even
that I could even get to that
yes,
point.
exactly.
And, and I knew I needed something, and like I said, like CrossFit like saved my life. I think I started CrossFit about a year after that moment.
Okay, a year after. Okay,
yeah. So I started. So like CrossFit was the initial thing that kind of got me like back to who I was, because I found a community. I found value in friendships and like exercise. And when you exercise, you get the endorphins, and it's something that you can replace.
Yeah.
If you have lack of dopamine, well, endorphins are going to give you those same good feelings in your brain.
Joe's getting all giddy. He loves this talk. He's a personal trainer. He's like, more, baby.
This is someone's direct experience. Like people want to turn people into victims nowadays, and they think it's the fucking answer on what world. And we should hold these fucking adults accountable, because you're a fucking idiot. You know how hard life is, and you know that's not the answer. Turning people into the fucking victim is not the answer. You're talking about somebody who dealt with mental health issues, tried to do something like that, and you're hearing it. Sitting around doing nothing is not. I know it's hard, but sitting around doing nothing is not going to help.
A lot of money in victims, though.
Yeah, but listen to what he's saying.
A lot of money off of victims.
It's one, like, fitness, being active, like feeling good about yourself. Even like it takes a little while to look better, but you ask anybody who works out for 2 weeks in a row, all of a sudden they start seeing something different in the mirror, even though it doesn't happen that quick, because it's just your perspective on yourself changes because you're putting in the work, you're doing something. And then with that, you get community, you get suffering with a team and community, you get like a bond, and you start to like elevate your mental game, because again, you're not just sitting around in your head. You're taking action towards something.
It was the mental game portion of it that I think I related to and admired the most was, when we would do a really hard workout where, and CrossFit, even though, you're a community and you have all your friends there, it's you alone. You're making every movement. You're the one that's telling your
no competition. You're not competing.
Well, you might be competing against somebody else for time or whatever, but it's focused where someone that is 70 years old will have modifications for them so that they're experiencing the same workout as someone who was in their prime,
like a handicap in golf,
and
exactly. Yeah, but you're competing against yourself to always see that you're getting better.
And so, like that mental focus and like that mental endurance was really special for me.
Sounds great. Not for me. I need to compete against other. I need to dominate other men for me to feel satisfied.
We know that already.
Yes.
Trust me, we know all about you dominating.
We read your Grindr profile. We get it. But that, to me, that's so awesome, because again, you're competing. And what you're talking about, that mental focus, right? That takes you out of your head and all the nonsense and lies you were telling yourself for so long.
You can't be thinking about how shitty your life is while you're also trying to, lift 300 pounds.
Yeah,
move a muscle, change your thought. Yeah.
So that was that 1 year and that built. When did you? Because you mentioned a program,
yes.
And I want to know, like, one, what the program is, if you could talk about it, and how you got introduced to it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, sure. So I started to, tell people that I was struggling, and kind of only told people that...
Who's the first person you told? I'm sorry. Who's the first person?
Actually, my friend Erica. So...
did I meet Erica?
I think you did, because she used to work at Simplay. But
Erica.
Well, all right,
I
real
remember
quick.
her.
What was it about her that you were like, I could talk to her?
So she was my friend from before I started working at Simplay. I had kind of grown up with her a little bit. We were kind of mall rats. We always hung out at the mall. That was just like our thing as kids.
Cinnabon.
Pretty much.
Remember Mallrats, the movie?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. And so I just felt comfortable with her, and I knew that she struggled with a lot of mental illness and like a lot of mental health things that were going on for her. So I felt comfortable that I could tell her, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and I'm not going to get, the police called on me and dragged to a psych hospital. And she was like, listen, I don't know if this will help you or anything, but I'm on this Facebook group. It's called Surviving Borderline. And some of the things that you say just kind of resonate with like what I've experienced with borderline. And
borderline, what is that short
Borderline
for?
personality disorder, so BPD. And she was like, I don't know if you'll relate to it or not, but why don't I'll add you to the group.
She's borderline.
Yeah. So she was like, I'll add you to the group. And I said, okay.
How do I not remember her?
I don't know.
Do you have a photo of her?
Yeah, I'll pull it up later. Yeah. But so I joined this group, and just to give you a rundown, with borderline, there's 9 traits of borderline, and you have to meet 5 criteria in order to be diagnosed with borderline. So essentially there's over 100 different combinations of what borderline could look like. And not everybody has the exact same makeup.
Right.
But there are still some things that are still exhibited through most borderlines.
Right.
Can you talk about what some of those things are?
Yeah, I mean, suicidal tendencies, impulse control, large scale emotions, like I was telling you about how like, everything's kind of ramped up, internalizing things. I mean, this isn't exact criteria right here. Justin's got his fingers counting.
I'm 4 for 4 right here.
And for me, it was like, it didn't present as like a typical borderline. And I will say also there is a slight stigma with borderline and like something like narcissistic personality disorder. They're both in cluster B type categories, but with borderlines, they're more typically diagnosed in females, and narcissistic personality disorder is more typically diagnosed in males. So there's a lot of males that get misdiagnosed and females that get misdiagnosed as something that they're not. And it was not something that I was ever diagnosed with per se, but
So you're undiagnosed borderline personality disorder.
So yeah, I don't have like a medical record of a diagnosis, but when I started doing research on borderline, I had found out that the therapy program called DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy, can help with people that have the symptoms of borderline. So I didn't go in there and tell them, hey, I think I have borderline. I think this is this. I just went in there and said, I need help because...
Into the Facebook
No,
group?
into the actual DBT program.
Okay.
So I applied for the DBT program and I started seeing a DBT therapist. And with that, they have individual therapy as well as group therapy.
And this is Erica did the same thing?
Yeah, Erica did a similar program. I don't know if it was through the same company, but it was. So I started that program, and it wasn't until about a year in that my therapist asked me, like, hey, do you know anything about borderline? Like, have you heard of this? And it was kind of like a weight got lifted off of my back because I didn't want to go in there with, diagnosing myself because
hey, I got this.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, they say, like, if you diagnose yourself and go into a therapist, say, hey, I think I have this, you'll present more like that. I just went in there trying to have a clean slate, say, hey, these are the issues that I'm dealing with. These are the things that I struggle with.
Yeah.
And I let my therapist do her job.
Yeah.
So,
her.
So that was something that, like, really helped me. I graduated from the program after about 2 years. I'm still in the practice, but I've graduated from the program. I know the skills. I know how to use them.
So you're doing a lot. You did a lot of work.
I did a lot of
doing
work.
a lot.
Still do a lot of
CrossFit.
work.
You're in this program. You're putting. It may not be AA, but you're putting in. You're working a
Because
real
that's
program.
what it takes to change.
they
It doesn't
had-
matter.
Right,
That's what
right.
it takes to change.
Right.
Putting the work
Putting the
in,
work, not being a victim
Well,
and saying
I'm
I'm a
sure you did
victim.
a lot of self-reflection, right?
Yeah, I
a
mean,
lot of
it was-
writing, a lot of like coming to terms with things, letting go, right? It's not rocket science. Like it's not like there's only AA. A lot of people.
Well,
go through the
rocket
same
science
things.
isn't really rocket science.
I
If you
know, but
if you
I'm-
understand thermonuclear dynamics, you're pretty much set.
I'm saying like give us a walkthrough. It doesn't have to be like so detailed, but maybe some of the, we call it steps, but maybe some of the things that you found during this process that really kind of gave you those aha moments where you're like, oh wow, I could change, I could be better, my perspective, like those things that.
Yeah,
you
sure.
got
I
from
mean,
it.
it's all about kind of everybody has thoughts, but it's how you react to those thoughts that dictate, your reactions.
You can't control your thoughts. I mean,
Right,
I can't.
You can't
but
control
I can
your
control
thoughts,
my
but you
actions.
can control the emotion that then
Right.
festers and becomes a reaction.
Right.
So it's all about kind of like recognizing that you're going to have thoughts, you're going to have emotions, but how you handle that and what you do with those emotions is what's important.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of different modules in DBT, but, they have like interpersonal effectiveness where like this is like more, how you're handling things with your friends, your coworkers, or your family members, how you, have to like, maybe you have to write a little bit of a script on how to present something when you have an issue that you want to bring up, but you don't know how to talk to that person, or you don't know how to talk to that person without getting super irrationally emotional.
Healthy confrontation. Yeah.
Then
Oh,
there's
is that why you asked me for a few talking points so you could write notes?
Yeah,
when I
just
asked you the
'cause-
podcast.
Just because I wanted to be prepared.
Because you're the first
on
one
what-
who said that
Yeah,
out of all of our guests.
But that's
Yeah.
great. And
Yeah.
I like
It reminded me of Joe, to be honest. Yeah, I was like, it sounds
well,
like
because
Joe.
it's like This is a very open and honest conversation, right? And it's your life. It's not like you have to think too hard or make something up, but being prepared, especially for something like this. And again, it's not like the questions are written down, but just have an idea of what this show is like how vulnerable am I fucking getting here, dude?
Right.
Let me prepare for this a little bit. Is smart. Like, and everything you're saying, I want you to continue because it's awesome. And I think it's great for me to hear, him to hear, the listeners to hear, like everybody to hear.
It's fascinating.
Because we all go through the same thing. And I had a similar experience with that. I just talked about it, a book that one of my therapists gave me that was called Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought. And it sat on my shelf for 5 years until I went to detox. And then for some reason I grabbed it. And then at the bottom, it said, but at the bottom it said, for anyone with a life-threatening illness, including life, right? So we all go through these things. And what was brilliant in there, it kind of made a triangle, talking about exactly what you were talking about. And it had a thought at one point. The next point was emotion. The next point was an action.
Right.
And what it talked about was every time we have a thought and we tie it to an emotion and then complete it with an action, we reinforce that triangle. So stopping that becomes harder and harder, whether it's with girls, I want to fuck that girl, boom, or I want to do that drug, boom. So I have a thought. Thoughts mean nothing. But when I tie an emotion to it, it becomes very strong. And then once I hit that action point, now I've just reinforced that in my mind. That behavior gave me a reward. Let's do that again.
Sounds
no matter
like
what
habits,
the concept.
how habits are formed.
But the trick is exactly like he's talking about. It's very hard to break the emotion at first. So you have to fight through that emotion. You're going to have the thought. You're going to be tied because now you've been tied to that thought with emotion for a while. But it's your responsibility to do whatever you can not to complete the action, because every time you don't complete the triangle, the power gets less and less between that thought and emotion. And then eventually you'll have the thought without the emotion. But it takes time to get there. And that's why it's so important
makes
what
sense.
you're talking
And-
about.
yeah.
And even if you do end up completing that action, you have two choices. You can either do a positive action or a negative action. And every action that you do then is either going to be bad or good, because if you do a negative action, now that's reinforcing that negative action, but that could cause things to escalate, cause things to get worse for you. If you choose a positive action instead, now you're kind of rewiring your brain.
Well, every action has a positive or equal reaction.
Yeah, but that's because you're rewiring your brain.
Yeah, and that's
huge.
essentially what this program is to do, is because, you know, you develop your personality around 5 to 8 years old. It's not fully cemented. You know, obviously environmental things can happen and like different things in your life can happen, but how you are,
your perspective,
on the world, people, and yourself kind of gets established around 5 to 8 years old. So, I mean,
Joe, weren't you banging stuffed animals around that age?
Absolutely. I truly believe that. Yeah.
Explains so much.
Of course. Yeah.
so I mean,
I was giving my Hulk Hogan doll a real fucking ride, I'll tell you that.
Hulk Hogan doll when he was like 8 years old. It was like his thing.
It's a funny story. I'll tell that later though, because I want to get back to that. Because again, that's so fucking important. Rewiring your brain, not completing the action, not giving the power to the emotion, and then eventually the thoughts become less powerful, and those impulses become weaker and weaker, and you could rewire yourself to get on the right path.
And there are things that are
Makes so much sense.
There are things that are like genetic and can get passed down, but we also have to focus on learned behavior, because if you don't focus on learned behavior, then your whole perspective is that this is just who I am. I can never change.
Nature versus
if
nurture.
If it's a learned behavior, you can unlearn it,
Yes.
or you can relearn something
Right.
different. And that was like kind of the whole perspective of DBT, was rewiring your brain to, you know, think positively about your situation, whether it was using a skill like loving kindness. So loving kindness is just a real easy skill. It's, even if I don't like you, I'm going to think a really nice thought about you.
That's right.
And now
That's difficult.
It's difficult
For me.
but,
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's better.
But I mean,
better. What's
even
the
if it's-
alternative?
Yeah,
even if it's
I
the
get it. It makes sense.
smallest thing
Yeah.
in the world, you know, I don't like this guy, but I like his Ellen DeGeneres haircut.
What the fuck?
You know,
What the fuck, man?
you know.
Guys, everyone's fuck with my haircut. It's not Ellen DeGeneres, all right?
Yeah, that was perfect. Hey, look, I like it. I like it better with long hair.
Jeez.
Just saying.
Right.
Next time, just tell the salon, like, listen, keep me looking like a man for a little
Casey does this for a living. Casey, is my haircut okay? Is it? Do I look like Ellen
bit.
DeGeneres?
Casey, be honest.
Is it Ellen DeGeneres?
I'm going to be honest. You just got a haircut, and I noticed these things.
Is this Ellen DeGeneres?
You look less Ellen now, but I will say you were venturing into Ellen territory pre-haircut.
Horrible.
So, all right.
Now you're more like Ellen Page.
Ellen Page.
Elliot Page. I'm sorry.
This is not helping. You're making it much worse.
Oh, that's great. But no, those skills are important. And you were going on to say some other skills. We got caught up in that because that's important. And like, I want to break this down for our listeners. And again, I can't talk about this stuff enough, learn it enough. If this stuff doesn't stay fresh for me, I float out the top. Yeah. And I think I'm the man and I could fucking figure everything out on my own and I have control of things. So I need to hear this stuff too. So like the thought, emotion, action thing. And then the other thing you started talking about, what are some of the other tools they gave you that were really just change your life and you still use? Like I love that what you were saying about finding something positive. Like, because again, a lot of these good books and AA, they're all talking about a lot of the same things, right? And it's not about being a positive thinker. No. It's focusing on the positive because it's not like you're in fucking Neverland over there. No. Bad shit happens. But how can we focus on the positive within all that? That's how we get through life because life is fucking hard.
Yeah, and they actually say accumulating more positive thoughts is less beneficial than reducing negative thoughts. Wow. So if you reduce more negative thoughts, it's more beneficial to you than if you increase your positive thoughts. So when somebody says like that, think positive, your response should actually, like in your head, should be, I'm actually going to think less negative.
Yeah. That's weird because if someone tells me to think positive, I'm thinking, fuck you, shut the fuck up, mind your own fucking business.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's probably the wrong way to
probably
about it.
And they actually say that
it's working for you. Keep going.
One negative thinker in a group setting can actually reduce productivity by 40%.
It's a cancer.
It's a cancer.
We've had that in sales floors all the time, and you have to get them out. You have to cut it out like a cancer because all of a sudden they start talking, we're not getting enough leads, whatever it is. I'm just, because I was in sales, we're not getting enough leads. Oh, he's fucking always out drinking. We're here making him money. Like it's just, it boils over. That makes sense.
For sure. For sure.
Again, I'm referring to the book because these are the little highlight moments that I enjoy listening from other people's journeys. Like those aha moments that like, what clicks? I mean, I've been in this world for why did this click? Yeah. What the fuck happened?
Because nowadays everyone just throws a pill at it, like the doctor, here, take that. You have this, take that. You have that, take this. And now there's other ways to go about it. You could rewire your brain through taking action.
Well, taking action, because you could learn something. It's different to apply it. And that's why like this book stuck out to me because it was the right timing. I grabbed it for a reason. Like I need things to click for me. It needs to make sense. You know what I mean? And that just made sense to me because I get it. Okay. Because I was always trying to be a positive thinker, but there is a big difference between shitty things happen. We could be real about stuff and what's going on, but we could also focus on the positive. Like I've never had an experience where I went through struggle and I didn't come out on the other end better for it. If I read the signs, I listened to people, and I fucking put action towards getting better. Whatever it was. I didn't make the team. I didn't do this. Every struggle I've ever been through, I came out on the other end better because again, I went through my emotions. Sometimes I cried. Sometimes I had to talk to a bunch of people. I had to pray a lot. I was depressed, whatever. When I came out of it, I was like, okay, now what? Now we got to fucking get better at that thing or do this, right? So those are the things that intrigue me. And your story is no different because look at all the stuff you went through. And now you came out on the other end. And this was how long ago when you went through this program and really grasped it?
So I started the program probably about 5 years ago, and I probably started to really grasp it around the first year. The program is not designed to keep you in the program forever. It's designed to give you the skill set and rewire your brain so that you can go out into the world.
Are you in the program now?
So I'm not technically in the program because I graduated from the program. I still see a DBT therapist because
maintenance and upkeep.
Because they understand more of the skills that I personally need. Whether that means like more validation for myself, Do
you help others that are in a similar situation as you?
If I think that it will be beneficial to them, I might suggest that they do an intake and see if it's a right fit for them.
Because like Erica did that for you.
Right. There's people that I've sent to.
There's a way to pay it forward.
There's people that I've sent to a DBT program, like not sent, but like, ask them, hey, this might interest you. This really helped me out. Why don't you check it out? See if it, if it's something that you can relate to or that you like. And if not, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, and again, you got a lot from the program, but it's not like you're done with now you have this maintenance where you're going to this therapist because shit still comes up. Just because you have these tools, right? Things still come up that
Life
we have to
happens.
deal with. Yeah. And again, sometimes It's very easy. Like sometimes I could just go to that toolbox real quick. I know exactly what to do. Other times I get stuck. And that's what's scary. With all the knowledge and experience I have of going through tough things and how I got out of them with the help of others or using tools, somewhere in my head, I have this insatiable appetite to try and figure things out on my own. And I want to fix it, just me. And that always lands me in danger. You know what I mean? So,
and how do you handle when you're using your tools and your skills and someone that you're dealing with doesn't have the same skills or tools?
Right.
They don't know how
Frustrating.
they don't know how to do it.
I love that. Yeah.
And so you have to be able to remember that it's only you and your actions. You can't control other people. And so that was something that I learned outside of DBT. I started into a CBT program, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is more just about changing your thought process and rewiring your brain. And that was something that I learned was circle of control. So I have very little influence other than for myself and my actions. I might have slight influence on a significant other or a spouse. I might have a little bit influence on family members. But then when it starts branching out to like coworkers, friends, people that you're just acquaintances with, you have less and less control over what they do and their actions.
I have zero control over what
and
any of these
some of us
morons in
don't
my
even
life
have.
do.
We don't even have control over our own actions. Some people, you know, so we have to maintain that control for ourselves and remember that at the end of the day, we're the ones that have to live with ourselves, nobody else. So,
Right.
you know, I mean, you have to be happy with what you have done every day, and so you know, making those active changes and making sure that you're making those actions a prevalent part of your life is really, really important.
Yeah, but I get frustrated when I see other people making the same mistakes that I make. Right. Instead of me getting frustrated, a lot of times instead of me looking at myself and saying, what could I do to fix this in myself? I'll find it in other people, and then in my head I'll be like, oh, this person's, he's an asshole, or he's a moron, or he's a jerk, or he doesn't have his shit together. But I'm really just thinking about myself in those situations. I think projecting it.
I think it's just like how parents are with their children. They're like, I don't want you to make the same dumb mistakes I did. But I mean, everybody knows that kids are going to make the same dumb mistakes that you did until they learn it on their own.
And now you have a kid now.
I do have a kid now. Yeah,
you're a dad.
He just turned 1.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
and
that's
the best
crazy.
name. I love the name too.
Yeah, his name is Atlas.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
a fucking strong
He's
name.
he's got the world on his shoulders.
Yeah,
that's
why. Awesome.
That's why I named him it, because I've endured a lot. I've found
right.
strength, and and that name resonated with me, and the story behind it resonated with me.
Absolutely, and I just think it's awesome. And again, I want to take the time to let that sink in for our listeners, because for a while, I always used to blame it on others. And again, that's that victim mentality. And think about how fucked you are if you have to wait for everyone else to get better before you get better. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So what you just said was so important, because again, that's living life without expectations, just standards and boundaries for yourself and the kind of man and person you want to be, right? When you look in the mirror, that's huge. And I don't think enough people put enough value on being comfortable in your own skin. One of my older brothers had said to me a long time ago, Joseph, being able to be comfortable in your own skin is like the world's greatest commodity. And when he said that to me, it's like we were kind of fighting, and he was being a dick, but he owned it. And that stuck with me. It took a while for that seed to flourish.
Yeah.
But again, there's good, bad, and ugly within each one of us, right? And it's how to come to terms with that and accept it. Maybe not, some of us fall in love with ourselves, some of us accept ourselves, but a lot of that comes with the action of trying to get better. Those bad things we don't like about ourselves become a lot easier to accept when we're on a path and a journey to righteousness and just getting better and feeling better about ourselves. So the fact that you live like that, it's important for people to understand. If you want a happy, fulfilled life, that you got to keep it on you and your actions and your behaviors and how you feel about them, and not expect others to get in line, because you're 100% right. Other people don't have a program. They weren't given this blessing and opportunity. So you can't expect them to have the same tools as you.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean,
Expectations.
It really
of other
comes
people.
down to validation for yourself. I mean, I know I personally spent a lot of time having external validation. And that's what I relied on. So whether that meant having a huge social circle and having a lot of friends, but I always felt empty at the end of the day.
Everyone had to like you,
They were
right?
surface level friends. You know, it wasn't like
Yeah.
I would be putting in all the effort. They wouldn't be the ones texting me. I would be the ones only texting
Like
them.
a clown. You're putting on a
and
show so everyone loves
you realize you weren't really gaining any value from that, or whether it was, you know, the dopamine hits from, you know, drugs and alcohol or sex even, you know, I mean, when you fill your life with all of these things to fill the holes inside of you,
Well,
and you're
filling
not
the holes. Yeah, that's right. It's exactly what you're doing. Filling those holes.
deep in the holes.
yeah.
But if you're not filling those up yourself and you're relying on other people to fill them up for you, you're never going to feel satisfied. I mean,
right.
and that's, you know, that's why, you know, I had to work on self-love, self-respect, and setting those boundaries, even for myself, you know, realizing like, okay, I have a problem with procrastination.
Yes.
What are some ways that I can fix this? Because I can't just blame it on everybody else all the time. It's never going to go anywhere.
Right.
Yep. And that's how you take ownership of your life.
Yeah.
Like that's just it. That's huge. And so I want you, if you can, also, because we just talked about, you have a 1-year-old son, you said.
Yes.
Right? And you named him Atlas. And you said
Atlas.
your struggles and everything like that, and the story. And some of our listeners, and I don't even know the fucking story. So can you tell us about that story about Atlas, why you named him that? Like what you liked about the story, what made you do that?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of the story makes it sound like he's kind of dumb, which is not necessarily the truth, but essentially he was tricked into holding the world up with his shoulders and was punished to hold the world up for the rest of his existence.
Greek mythology.
Greek mythology. This is Greek mythology. Yeah. So he was a titan, I believe, not a god. He was a titan. So he was, I believe, the brother of Zeus or the uncle of Zeus.
They're all related.
Whatever.
To
They're all
Zeus.
related through some incestuous. you
Greeks
know.
like it in the ass.
Yeah, that's,
Whatever
that's
it
very
was.
true. Yeah. They've done
but-
studies. Yeah.
But you know, the meaning behind Atlas being this strong, enduring person and having the weight of the world on his shoulders,
Yes.
was really, really something that resonated with me. And it was actually something that my therapist had actually used to like use it as a nickname for me, because I always used to hold the weight of
Atlas?
the world on my shoulders, and you know, I was always so concerned with everybody else and trying not to upset anybody and like
People
bearing the
pleasing.
weight of everything else on myself. And he's like, he just constantly would, you know, refer to me as Atlas, and that kind of just stuck with me. And like, I realized like, you know, like this is the name that I want to give to my son. And that's just how it came about.
Everything you picked up, everything you learned along the way, this program, continuing to keep yourself vulnerable, humble, right? Open-minded, right? Because you're still taking suggestions, you're seeing a therapist, like you're talking to people about this stuff. Through this, because, correct me, it's been 5 years since all that happened, or longer?
No,
yeah,
more.
No, it's been
21.
more. Yeah, so
You're
so when I was
28.
21.
So
So
about
7
years.
years.
So
7-year journey.
Through that time, and you find the program, you're doing CrossFit, like things are good. But I'm sure along the way there was some spots where things got iffy, where maybe you questioned. Do you have like a strong faith in your life? Like, did you question stuff? Did you have a crossroads where you're like, oh shit, or did you want to go back? Anything like that
Yeah,
happen?
so I gotcha. So
Bumps in the road.
You know, I think that because I call it a savior complex, I always have a savior complex. So whether that was with my dad and his alcoholism and trying to get him to, you know, change and, you know, constantly being disappointed whenever he would relapse, or, you know, having friends that were addicts or dating people that were alcoholics or addicts.
You wanted to be the hero.
Wanted to always be the hero, or just wanted to help.
Yeah.
Always wanted to
Yeah.
help people.
Right.
But
I could save you. I could
you
give
know,
you
exactly.
enough love to save you. I can make you love yourself. Yeah.
Even when it came to like mental health struggles and stuff like that, like I think they always were gravitated to me, and I was always gravitated by the helpfulness aspect as well. And that made me very vulnerable to manipulation, to abuse and things like that, because all I wanted was to be good enough, or to, you know, help someone that maybe wasn't ready to accept that help. And so I found that a lot in my life. And I actually remember a moment where I rejuvenated my faith with God was actually, I was working at my current job, I work at Topgolf.
Another simulator place.
Another golf place. Yeah.
I'm noticing
I
a
absolutely
pattern
love
here.
that place.
Yeah.
It's so
Is that
much fun.
good?
Oh, we got to go. It's fucking
Really? I
awesome.
would
It's
love
awesome.
to go.
We should book a podcast
Let's
trip there.
do it.
And I was working a party, and I'm a server there, so I work for tips. And this party they didn't order any drinks, and I was like, okay, this is one of two things. This is either recovering alcoholics or this is like some church group, because they just did not look like they knew each other than like a community aspect. So I'm like, oh boy, all right, this bill is not going to get very high. I'm not going to get a good tip, whatever. So I served them, and it was the end of their time, and they pull me aside and they're like, hey, listen, just want to let you know we are a church group and we would love to pray for you. And
That was your tip, prayer?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, well, no,
I mean,
it wasn't.
I
It
love
was not
a
my
good
tip.
prayer, but
now
you need a
I
tip.
hadn't. Now I hadn't gotten my tip yet.
Okay.
So I was like, sure, if you want to pray for me, you could pray for me.
But just the fact that go ahead.
And so
Where'd
they were
that come
like,
from?
well, what is it that you're looking for? Like, if you could ask Jesus or God for anything right now in your life, what would it be? And me and my ex were having really, really complicated problems in our relationship, and I had asked them for peace. I said, I want peace. That's all I want right now is I want peace. And
It's a pretty big ask.
Yeah. So they prayed with me, and they asked God for peace over me and peace through whatever I was going through. And they did give me a good proper tip. I will say that. So they ended up giving me a proper tip. And 2 days later, I found out that my ex was pregnant. And I flipped out. I did not handle it well. I was, because we were on the fritz. We were not doing well.
Sure.
We were not doing well. I was like, a baby's
One prayer isn't
not
going to
gonna
settle
save
your
this.
mind.
Well, you know what? You know how to fix a relationship on the fritz? You just have a baby.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Have two.
yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
that's how you
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But I was really, really stressed about, having a baby. And I was cursing at God. I was like, are you kidding me? I asked for peace and you gave me more stress. Are you kidding me?
He knows what he's doing. God knows what he's doing.
And I was like, what the
Because he
heck
gives
is
you
this?
opportunities to achieve peace
Right.
within, not
and
just
so,
peace.
And so I will say, obviously I came around to the idea of having a kid, and I was like,
Atlas,
I can,
man.
I was like, I could do this.
that's right.
I'm ready to be a father. I could do this. And once I held him in my arms, I knew it was the most at peace I ever felt.
And
it's still
she
the
let
same.
you pick the name.
We both agreed on it.
both agreed on it,
So
okay.
it was
It's a
the
fucking
only
badass name. She's
was-
not. Get out of here.
No,
If
It was
you're
yeah,
the
saying
no,
only,
I love
it was
it.
the only male name that we both agreed on. We had no problem picking female names. When it came to male names, she wanted names that I would associate with like a dog's name.
Really?
or like
Come here, Chester.
yeah, I was just like I can't do it. I was just like I couldn't do it. And Atlas was the one that we settled on, and we were in agreement on.
Thank God you did that.
That's a great name.
I
Never met
really
Atlas.
lucked out on that one.
Never met Atlas.
No,
Love it.
definitely not.
So
Gonna be the coolest kid in school.
yeah, he really
Yeah.
is. But yeah, so I think like everybody always says, God works in mysterious ways, and anytime that you ask for something, it's never going to be a direct here you go. It's going to be
God knows what your heart is. God's not listening to the words. God's listening to your heart. He's listening to your soul, listening to your spirit, what you really want. Not what he's giving you what you need, not what you want.
Yeah, but also he's giving you opportunity. Like if you ask for peace and tolerance, let's say, over others, he's not just going to give you tolerance. Like your mental state. And because I ask this all the time, he's not just going to give you tolerance when people are fucking driving like idiots on the road or something. He's going to give you opportunities to see your own character defects, how your perspectives, how you view the world, how you want to react to a certain situation,
Right.
and what you ask for, which is peace, tolerance, something like that. And he's like, all right, here you go, motherfucker. Let's see what you're going to do with it. Are you going to?
Yeah. He's not a genie. He's not like a genie in a bottle.
But you're going to get
Yeah.
opportunities to receive that through your own action, which is tenfold better because now you're proving to yourself that you can be at peace, that you
Yes.
can be tolerant of others.
Yes.
That's a totally different scenario, you know? So that
You have to
dude,
earn it.
That's a great that's a great story.
Yeah.
So like now you have this kid. He's 1 year old, right? Are you still with the
1 year
girl?
old. There's
1
no
year old.
S.
I know. I fuck
One.
up my English. Not so good
Do
sometimes.
you say
know?
Happy New Year's Eve?
Probably.
Yeah, of course you do.
I don't know what the fuck I say. I don't believe in New Year's.
Oh.
Actually, I don't even celebrate it.
It's not unicorns and leprechauns. It's a fucking day. You know? I don't
How the
believe
fuck
in
do we?
it.
Who fucking created this time?
Jesus. It was when Jesus was
calendar.
born.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Anyway,
Come on.
so you have this beautiful baby. greatest moment, right? You're at peace. What's this last year looked like? Being a dad, stepping up to the plate, right? Because I'm sure, like, do you still have a relationship with your dad? Is it like off and on, or cut him off, or what?
Yeah, so my dad and I have a slightly estranged relationship, but I still pick up the phone if he calls, and we talk. And me having a kid of my own, he wanted to be more involved and wanted to.
He's a grandpa. He's grandpa there. So,
it's awesome.
He was excited about that, and and takes it seriously. So I think he still struggles, and that's always going to be the case unless he really truly takes it seriously for himself.
But I'm sure the work you've done already has helped you connect to him at a deeper level, understanding and just like accept
just
him,
understanding
have a relationship
and understanding
right now. Getting rid of the anger.
That the relationship is important. You know what I mean?
What kind of relationship? You says it's strange. So you mean it's like you only talk to him on the phone? Do you see him?
So my dad married someone in Thailand, and he now lives in Thailand.
Oh.
So on the phone. Okay.
So it's a 12-hour difference. So if he texts me at 3 a.m, it's 3 p.m. here, and vice versa. So if I text him at 3 p.m,
Bangkok,
it's
Bangkok,
3 a.m.
Thailand.
there. So
is that Bangkok, Thailand? KC.
Yeah.
Bangkok
Yeah.
is Thailand. So
I'll
there
be right
are
on
like
that.
Yeah, Google Bangkok. Let's see what comes up.
Casey, bring that up.
I Googled
Make
rabbit
sure there's
hole.
no space between the syllables.
I Googled
How's your
rabbit hole, and I
geography?
found some good stuff.
That's fucked
Yeah,
up.
so he's in Thailand. It's kind of estranged, but you're reaching out to him. You talk to him. He's part of your kid's life now. So, like, this last year, right? Because even though you've built a better relationship with your father now, you've come to a point of acceptance. You obviously, there must be something inside you that, like, I'm going to be a great dad.
I mean, I think I've always wanted to be a dad. I've always worked with kids. I've always, enjoyed being around children, just because it was like, they always look up to you and they see you as a role model, and they want to,
They're like little golden balls of happiness and fun.
Yeah, but plus it's like, because
Kids are
I'm
awesome.
the same way. I work with kids all the time and like sports performance and stuff like that. And I remember the people who were influential in my life when I was a kid going through a hard time. So like I connect with them because I get it. Like some people grow up and they just grow so old. And even at like 35, 40, and they fucking forget. And they're such little dicks to kids, or just their attitude. They don't understand. So I'm sure that's a big connection point for you too, because struggling as a kid, any person that was nice, especially an older person who you looked up to, was like cool to you or nice to you or did something kind for you or whatever, made you feel good when you were feeling shitty. Like yeah, that's the kind of person I want to be. Positive influence on others.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually taken a parenting class and learned a little bit more about the different types of parents. So I think we all probably grew up with what was called an authoritarian type of parent. An authoritarian type of parent is the type that children should be seen, not heard. Very, do as I say, not as I do kind of figure in your life.
Parenting classes?
Yeah, they have parenting classes.
They should. There's some
they
fucking
should.
shitty parents out there.
And then there's permissive parents those are the type of parents that are, oh yeah, I smoke weed with my kid. I'm his best friend, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Bring them over. They can drink in our basement.
Right.
And we don't want you drinking out there, so we're going to have a party. You can
We
drink
always
in our
loved those
basement.
parents. We just didn't want
our parents to be those parents,
Right.
right? And then there's the authoritative parent, which is the one that allows their children to make choices. So it should be like a family discussion. We should have family meetings. We should be able to make choices that are going to benefit you as well as punish you if you make that choice. So for instance, like if you do this, what should your punishment be? And allowing the child to figure out punishments.
Pick
for
your own
themselves.
punishment?
Well, I mean, it still has to be a punishment.
Yeah, you still have the veto and the rule over it. Be like, no, that's not fucking good enough. But it's giving them the experience of life. Like, this is
making choices.
Yeah, there's consequences for your actions.
Wait, I'm confused. Right. You're saying letting the kid pick their own punishment?
Yeah, but if he picks something stupid, the parents are like, you have the overall veto. Am I correct?
Right.
Like,
It's not like
you're just
if I say
them
what should happen to someone that steals. It's not like they're like, well, we should get more. That's not a punishment that you could choose.
Yeah.
Okay, if I steal something, what should my punishment be? Okay, well, I think it depends on how much I stole, what the value is.
Yeah.
But if I steal, I should have to go back to the store,
That's right.
return it, and apologize.
Deal with that embarrassment. But yep, 100%.
And then I'm grounded for a week.
Yep.
Okay, that's an acceptable punishment, and you now know the consequence that you as a family chose. You were part of that decision making. So it's not me being a horrible father to you and saying you're going to do this. You chose this punishment and you chose this you knew this consequence would happen for this specific action.
Yeah, you got caught. You fucked up. You stole and you got caught.
And it also works the other way. You know, what should happen if you get a good grade in school? You know, ice cream. Okay, let's go out for ice cream. Cool. You get to be a part of those choices, and that raises children that are going to be beneficial to society and are able to make choices. And because when we were growing up, I felt like I didn't get to make choices like that or have any real say. It was, this is what we're doing. That's it. You know?
But you're teaching them a lot of things. Accountability for your actions. There's going to be consequences.
We're not raising children. We're raising adults.
That's right.
We're raising future adults.
That's right. And that's why it doesn't make sense to me how that, like, again, the victim mentality and what some adults are putting into these kids' heads when they know better and they live in this world.
It's not your fault.
Psychotic.
Yeah.
It's psychotic because you're not giving them any kind of power to ever get better or accountability for their actions to actually
creating
see
a
that.
nation of victims.
Yeah. That. I got, just like you said, I got myself into this situation. That was an aha moment for me. Like, oh fuck, I wanted this kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to get this bad, but I made these choices that led me here, so I could make these other choices to take me away from here, and that is it's worth everything.
Yeah.
So.
What about beatings? Any beatings? You going to give your kid any beatings?
I don't think that.
Only if he deserves.
They talk about that in the class. Old. Well, what if he fucks up?
Atlas?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe a few light thrashings from time to time, might teach him a little discipline. That's all I'm saying.
I think the world beats us up enough,
Yeah.
I say get the switch. I say bring the switch back.
What about a little bamboo stick?
That's what I'm saying.
Switch is kind of
I'm all for punishment.
Yeah.
Beatings.
Yeah.
Beat the kid.
Yeah.
Beat the kid, create the adult.
Imagine if you do that. Come here. Let's talk about your punishment. And you're like, what about this? How about I'm just going to kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh, what do you want to do? Oh, you want to put back the stuff you stole and say I'm sorry to the store clerk? Well, I'm going to veto that, and you're going to get a fucking punch to the face. How's that sound, tough guy?
It's beautiful. You're going to be a great dad. No, but Matt, this has been like a pleasure. I'm really happy that you're with us, that you turned your life around, that like you went through all that stuff. And again, you didn't just go through it just to go through it. You went through it to learn, to become better. And not just you. Like, this is compounding interest, right? Because you made some changes, seeked help, took action. It's very hard to look at yourself honestly, the good and the bad, because even the good we don't glamorize. Like, we brush over it. And to make necessary changes to improve your life, but the lives of others. Because everyone you impact, like you said before, you're not expecting anything from, but this is just the way you have to live. Your child, the people he impacts because of the lessons you instill in him and like the structure you give him. That, again, there's not a lot of people doing that. And it's a beautiful thing when it's done because that's how you make positive changes. And that's what I think a lot of times we're losing sight of with these kids, whether we're pushing them into too many sports or pressuring them about fucking stupid college and making decisions so soon, or just fucking putting them on their iPads because we're too busy with our fucking selfish desires over here. Like, I don't think people understand what's going to happen if we continue down this path of saying we really care about the kids, but our actions do not fucking align with our words. And it doesn't fucking make sense. And to have people like you on the earth making those changes and putting that positive impact into the world and that compounding interest, it's just, you can't ask for more, especially with your story. So I really appreciate you coming on and being so vulnerable today and being honest and raw.
It's like breaking, it's like, they say you can break generational curses with your actions and how you treat your kid.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it goes the opposite way though.
Yeah.
Like if you have a father who was very strict and like, I was joking about the beating the kids part, but if you have a father that beats you and is really mean, then you're going to grow up, you're going to be the opposite, but you're going to be way too lenient. Yeah. And then vice versa. If they're too lenient, you're going to be, but what you're doing is it sounds like you're finding a balance there.
Yeah, I know my son's only 1 year old, but it's important to have those ideas of who do you want to be as a parent. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of us are like, oh, I don't want to be anything like my parent or anything like this. But there are things that you want to take from different things. And I think, you know, it's crazy, but I'm learning this now. It's the first generation that has technology at our hands as far as parenting goes.
Well, the first generation in the history that we're taught. There's been ancient civilizations like in Atlantis and ancient Egypt. I mean, how do you think they built those fucking pyramids? What do you think?
What I'm
fucking
saying is-
sticks and ropes? Come on, let's use our brains here, people.
Russians have Sal, not
Come
aliens.
on.
You know, my mom, she learned everything from her mom and her dad, and they learned everything from their mom and their dad.
And that wasn't all bad either. Like you want to pick some of that shit up.
But, you know, there's times where, like, maybe, you know, my mom might make a suggestion and I'll be like, actually, there's research that shows that that's not the best thing. This is actually how that happens.
Yeah, you Google it.
Exactly.
That's
I mean,
it.
you have more.
But you have to have the want and the desire to be a better parent though, and be a better person each day.
Yeah.
And that to me, like I said, that's the difference.
Right.
You know, that sets the standard. And so last thing, I want to close with this. I want to just ask you, as far as there's been a lot that has gone on, right? And I know that you went through a lot and as far as changing your life, and there was a lot of different instrumental things along the way, like we talked about. But what's some like philosophies that you live by that you could leave with the guests and us? Just, you know, things that you really take hold of.
Like if you had to put it, like, what is your philosophy? Like Matt's philosophy, Matty Ice. What's your life philosophy?
For a happy, fulfilled life like you live in.
Lately, it's been let go, let God. I just use that phrase when things aren't going right, when things are going right. It's something that I feel is universal for me to remember that there are bigger, powerful things at play here. And, you know, I'm going to do everything in my power to be the best person I can be. But when things are still out of my control, I'm going to let go and let God and trust the process. Trust that He's guiding me in the way that, you know, I'm supposed to be going. And
trusting God.
And trusting God.
Most important thing, for me at least.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
It's such a good time.
You're the man, Matty. I'm so happy you came.
I bet you are.
That was a perfect time for That's What She Said. I lined you up for that one.
Went right on the tee.
He did it perfectly, though. He put it back on you. All right. Good night.